Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can download and install Android Studio on your Mac operating system. So let's get started and let's see how we can do it. So first of all, open your favorite browser and search for Android Studio, and the first link which will appear here will be from developer.android.com. We are going to click on this link, and when this web page opens you will be able to see straight away this download button on this web page. So we are going to click on this download button, which is going to show you this kind of terms and conditions page. You can read about these terms and conditions here and then scroll down at the very bottom where you need to agree with these terms and conditions. So if you agree, just check this checkbox, and then you will see two buttons here. So if you are using the MacBook or Mac operating system with Intel chip, then you can click on this button. If you are using the Mac operating system with the Apple chip, for example M1, M2, M3 or any other Apple chip, then click on this button. So I have a MacBook with an Apple chip, so I'm going to click on this Apple chip button here, which is going to start the download of this DMG file. So you can see at the time of making this video, this file is around 1.1 gigabyte files, which is going to take some time to download. So just wait for the download to complete here. So once this DMG file is downloaded, I'm going to click on this DMG file, and then I'm going to minimize this browser. So as you can see on this window, the installation process is really simple. You just need to drag this Android Studio icon into your applications folder. So if you are using your MacBook and its trackpad, you just need to press Command key on your keyboard and then select Android Studio and then drag and drop this icon on your applications folder, which is going to copy Android Studio into your applications folder. You can see this copying is done now. Once the copying is done, the Android Studio is installed on our Mac operating system, and then you can click on the launch pad and then search for Android Studio here. So I'm going to just search for Android Studio. You can see this icon is available here. So I'm going to click on this Android Studio icon, which is going to start the Android Studio on our Mac operating system. So first of all, you will see this kind of window which says import Android Studio settings. So if you are starting Android Studio for the first time, I will recommend you to just leave this radio button on do not import settings here and then click on OK. And then you will see this kind of window which says help improve Android Studio. I don't want to share any data with Google, so I'm going to click on don't send here, and you can see this kind of Android Studio setup wizard. So at this point I'm going to click on next here, and then I'm going to choose the standard installation type. You can also choose the custom one, but I will recommend you to choose the standard one for now, and then click on next, and then you will see all these settings. So you can verify all these settings here, and then if you are happy with all those settings, click on next, and then on this next window you will see this license agreement. So if you want, you can read these license terms and conditions, and if you agree with those license terms and conditions, click on accept here, and also select the second item here in this list, which is the SDK ARM, and then accept here also. Okay, so you need to accept in both the sections, one for Android SDK license and other for Android SDK ARM DBT license. Once you see this finish button, click on finish, which is going to start the download of all the components which Android Studio requires for its installation. So this setting up of components will only happen once when you start your Android Studio for the first time. So at this point you just need to wait for a few seconds until this installation of all those components is going on. And now as you can see, after a few seconds, I can see this finish button here. So I'm going to click on this finish button, which is going to start Android Studio on my Mac operating system. So now Android Studio has been started on my Mac operating system. At this point, you can start creating your Android Studio project. You also have this more actions option here. So when I click on this more options drop down menu, I can also add a virtual device using this virtual device manager. This is going to help us to visualize our Android Studio project in various different devices, whatever virtual device you install with your Android Studio. So at this point, I'm going to just click on this virtual device manager option, and you can see by default this virtual device is already available. So I'm going to click on this run button to see if this virtual device starts. So let me click on this run button, which is going to start this AVD, and it says launching emulator. And you can see this virtual device has been started. So when you start this Android Studio, this one virtual device comes by default. If you want to install some extra virtual device, then you can also click on this create virtual device option. I'm going to show this in few seconds, but you can see my virtual device has been started now, right? So you can see this virtual device works similar to Android devices. And now when I create any Android Studio project, I can visualize this and run this in this Android emulator, right? So I will just leave it like this, and then let me show you how you can create a new virtual device if you want. For this, you just need to click on create new virtual device option, and then you can choose the category if you want to create the virtual device for phone, tablet, Wear OS, desktop, and all the other categories are available here. Let's say I have select the phone category. So from this list, you can select any option which have Play Store in front of them. So I can select this one or this one or this one, and then you can click on the next option. So let me click on the next option, and then for the image, you need to download the image. So generally we can download the image which is available at the top. You can also select the other image all option, and you will see one of these images which is already uh, there, which comes with Android Studio. So you can select that also. Otherwise, you can download the system image from this list. I'm going to go to the other images and then select the one which is already available, and then click on next. And then you can select the portrait or the landscape mode. I'm going to just leave it as default. And then you can also do some advanced settings here. For example, you can select the camera, network, emulated performance here, and also memory and storage can also be changed from here if you don't like these default values. For now, I'm okay, so I'm going to click on finish here, and you can see this new virtual device is created. So this is how you can create a new virtual device. So once the virtual device is running, let's create a new Android Studio project. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to minimize this, and then on my Android Studio, I'm going to click on new project here. And from here, I'm going to select phone and tablet. So from this list, I'm going to select this empty activity option here. So let me just select this empty activity here and then click on next. Then I can give any name to my project. For example, my first application here. And then you can also select the minimum SDK here, right? So from this list, you can select any SDK of your choice, and it's going to show you your app will run on approximately 96% of devices, right? So you can select these SDK depending on the API number here, right? So let me select any one of them. You can select this and then click on finish here, which is going to create your Android project. At this point, Android Studio is going to initialize your Android project. Once your project is created, you will see your app here. So you can see there are these main activity.kt file. Then you also have your manifest. So you can click on Android manifest.xml file and it's going to show you this kind of Android manifest, right? Once my project is created, let me launch my application into the Android emulator which we have started. So let me just move it like this, and to run your application you just need to click on this run button here. So I'm going to click on this run button, which is going to launch my application in the virtual emulator, and I can see hello Android here, right? So this is how you can run your application in your Android emulator. So this is how you can download and install and create your first Android application on your Mac operating system. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next video.